It's me, Skin Glow and Afro, and I'm back to do another YouTube video. Now this time I wanted to talk about my smear test experience. It's not my first smear test that I had done today, it's actually my third one. The last one I had done was in 2016, so you know, time just goes very fast. Very fast, like Lord Jesus. But yeah, unlike my first experience and unlike my second experience, this one was pretty much a breeze. But let me go through it. First of all, what is a smear test? So according to the NHS, a smear test is a cervical screening that checks the health of your cervix. So you know, they insert that speculum up inside your vagina. And then they push it back until they can find your cervix, and then they add a little thing and then take a small little tiny piece to check the health of your cervix. But I understand why a lot of women don't like having it done because of the speculum, because some of them are quite big. The one that was used on me was small, but you know, I actually found out today that you can actually request a smaller one. Like, just from doing my research, I mean, I had a smaller one myself anyway, but I'm saying I just found out from reading up today that you can actually request a smaller one should you feel more comfortable with that. The smear test itself is not painful, but I would say the first time and the second time you have it, you are going to feel some discomfort. This third time, I didn't really feel anything at all. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because my body's used to it or whatnot, but honestly, I didn't feel no discomfort, nothing like that. Like, it was pretty much a breeze. Like, honestly, like, you know what? They just like basically said to me, you know what? Put your 2 feet together. Obviously, I had my shoes on. Put your 2 feet together, and then drop your legs like this. So they're basically flat like this, and then your feet will be together like this, and then your legs are like that. And basically, when you do that, it makes it so much easier because you're more open, you're more relaxed. I go in there, right? I go in there, and there's a nurse in there, and there's also a doctor in there, like a female doctor. And she, the nurse said to me, "Is it alright if the doctor actually does the smear test, as in putting the speculum up in you, because she needs more experience?" I said, fine, that's perfectly fine. If she needs the experience, you know what, let me just be a guinea pig, because you know what, as far as I'm concerned, as long as the smear test gets done, I'm not really too fussed. And you know, they did explain what was going to happen, you know, even though I knew previously, because it's not my first one, it's my third one, so I basically know it now. But I do appreciate it that they took the time to explain what was going to happen, because remember, it's like 3 years between each smear test, so you may not remember everything that goes on, you know. When you're going for your appointment, when the nurse calls you in, she will get you to sit down, explain the situation. She will confirm your identity. That will be the very first thing. They need to confirm your identity, because you could be any old person walking up in there. She will ask you your full name. She may ask you for your full name, or she may say your name and just check with you that that's right. Check your date of birth and say, did they send you a letter? Now, you could have already pre-booked your smear test before they even sent the letter out anyway, if you're that way inclined. Me personally, I prefer to wait till the letter comes, like, because I'm always just like, you know what, I don't even think about it until the letter actually comes. So I was just like, you know what, they did send me a letter, because I was just like, I'm not thinking about it too. So then, what they would do after they checked your details, check that you're okay with everything, okay for the smear test to go ahead, they will basically tell you to, you know, take your trousers off, or take your skirt off and your knickers. You do all this behind a curtain, so there's like a curtain that they pull round after they tell you what piece of clothing you need to remove in order for this smear test to be done. You can leave your shoes on if you want to. So I basically, you know, took my trousers off, took my knickers off, you know, and then got up on the bed. And they also give you this they put this paper on the bed for you to lie on, and then they give you this small one to cover this bit here. You know, you need dignity now. But the one thing you don't need to be worried about, you can go there after having a bikini wax, shaving, trimming, or you can go there with a full bush. They don't care. They've seen it all. Trust me, they've seen worse. So trust me, no matter how much you fret about going there because you may not have gotten rid of your hair down there, it does not matter. What matters is having this smear test done. So don't be embarrassed because you got a little bit of hair down there. Don't worry about it. They don't care about that. All they care about is pushing the thing up in the bed, yeah. And then the nurse comes in and she has to raise the bed a little bit. Can't even get my words out. She has to raise the bed a little bit because, you know, it makes it easier when the bed is raised, because obviously it's right down to the floor, but it has to be raised a little bit so, you know, they can do the procedure properly. And so, you know, it was raised, and then she asked, when the doctor came in, she was like, oh, do you need it to be a bit higher? Because obviously the doctor was slightly taller than the nurse, so, you know, it made sense. So, you know, it got raised a little bit, and I was okay as long as I was like, as long as my head was back on that bloody bed, I was chilling. Like I wasn't even worried about it. What happened after that is the doctor basically said she's gonna insert one of her fingers inside me to see if she can feel my cervix. And then, you know, the nurse was asking me if I was comfortable with that, and I said, yeah, that's fine. And if you know what, even though I don't have a problem with it, it is a bit strange because, you know, they're always talking like they have to move your labia out of the way, so they just basically hold it like this and move it out of the way while they got one finger up inside you, you know. So it is a bit of a strange experience. It's just like, oh my God, this nurse and this doctor got their hands on my fanny, Lord Jesus. And it is a bit mad. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and you just think to yourself like, this woman just stuck her finger up in my fanny. Like, I mean, I did give her permission to, but Jesus Christ. The nurse basically said to her, oh, it's best to use your middle finger. So she used the middle finger with obviously gloves on. And she was like, oh, my my middle finger isn't long enough. So she had to change her gloves, and then she had to use the spatula. So then obviously the nurse was instructing her on the best way to put this speculum in. So the first way she tried to get it in was a no-no. And then she did it a second time, and that was also a bit of a no. So she took it out, put it back in, got it as far as possible, and then the nurse was saying to her to twist it. To make it easier. And when she did that, excuse me, when she twisted it and held my labia open so that there would be no friction, it actually worked. It actually went there, and I could, like, you can't really feel it hitting your cervix, but I knew that it was at the back. Once they know that it's actually on your cervix, what they would do is they will open it. They will open the spectrum. It's got this little bit where you can open it so it's wide. And then that's when they put the little thing in through to take this smear test. Now the nurse did that. So once it was open, the nurse said, "Can you see that?" And she was like, "It's got to see like a little bit of your cervix." I've forgotten what the exact name of it is now, but that's just how they know that they're actually at the cervix. So they did that, and yes. And then the nurse said, "Now I'm going to do the smear test," which she did. And I didn't actually feel nothing at all when she used that thing to take a bit of my cervix off. Like, I literally did not feel anything. I thought I would, but no, I didn't feel anything this time. The first time I felt like a pinch. The second time, it just felt uncomfortable. This third time I didn't feel nothing. Mention, when I started the video, another one of the questions they will ask you is, when was your last period? Because you don't want it to be a situation where they're doing it and there's a bit of blood still there. No. If you're on your period, you can't have a smear test done. If you're just giving birth, I'm not sure about the rules on that, but I'm sure if you're just giving birth or pregnant, I don't think you can have it. Well, definitely not if you're pregnant. I'm not sure about how it goes if you're just giving birth. I'll have to do some more research on that. But yeah. If you're on your period and you're pregnant, that's a nope. But at least if you're on your period, you can have it done the week after, providing your period is, you know, actually finished, you know. It wasn't that bad an experience. I mean, like I said, I had like all 3 of my experiences having smear tests. I can't ever say I've had a really bad experiences. None of the nurses that I've ever encountered have been bad. Not a single one, and none of them have been like dismissive. Like if you have any questions, like they've been open and honest. You know, they've been open and honest. I've never had no problems, but I do understand why a lot of women struggle to have their smear test done, because it is invasive. You're sitting there on like a trolley bed with your legs wide open, with a woman peering up at your fanny. Like, I understand why it's so uncomfortable, why it's so tenuous, and a lot of the times we don't relax because it's so unnatural for us to relax when something like that is happening. I think because of how the nurse and the doctor was explaining it to me, I think that's exactly why I was so relaxed. Like, I wasn't even fussed. Like, honestly, when the doctor put her finger in there, I wasn't fussed. Honestly, didn't feel like nothing. When they put this speculum in them, the only time I felt slight discomfort was when it got to the back of my, when it reached my cervix. No, actually, tell a lie. When they open it, that is the only time you'll feel a bit of discomfort, when they open it. But it's not pain. I wouldn't say it's pain. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? That's like what it feels like. Like, honestly, like when it opens, it feels very strange. That's what I tell you, to stay relaxed, to stay calm, because the thing, you feel it widening. You will feel it, and it's uncomfortable, but it's not painful. That's about it, really. That was my experience. I have to say, like, it was a good experience. I would advise all women to go have your smear test done. Trust me on this. Go have your smear test done. I know it's scary. I know it's daunting. But trust me, when you get to the 3rd one like me, it's really, really not that bad. But I do think because of the name of it, because of the name, I mean smear test, honestly. Like, because of the name of it, and because of this speculum that they use, I do believe that is part of the reason why a lot of women don't want to get it done, because they see the speculum and that's it. They freeze up, they get tense. And I don't blame them, because the first time I had it done back in 2014, it was the most uncomfortable, and it was actually painful. Like, when they took the piece of my cervix, like, I literally felt that pinch, and it was painful. I didn't like it. It was so weird. But then, like, the second time I had it done, it was not that bad. If you can try and put yourself in a different frame of mind while you're there, it might help you. Because, like, I wasn't even thinking about the process that was going on. Like, I was responding to what they were saying, and like the nurse was really reassuring. She was like, well done, Keisha, you're doing great. All these positive reinforcements that you actually need, which is surprising, because not a lot of people do that. They don't give you positive reinforcements. And the fact is, when you're having a smear test, you do need that, you know, to let you know that you are okay and what you're doing is the correct thing, to get the process done as quickly as possible, you know. So it's actually pretty good, you know. So I would advise all women to go have their smear test, or if you're not ready to have your smear test done, go and speak to somebody about your fears and try and alleviate those fears, because a smear test is not to, you know, it's not to detect cancer, but like it can prevent cancer, because they're looking to see if anything has changed, especially if you are sexually active, you know, because the HPV virus is a very real thing, and not everybody's had a vaccination. But that's why they have this smear test, so that they can detect if anything changes. This is the end of my smear test experience YouTube vid. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment box. Let me know, ladies, your thoughts on smear test. Have you had your first one done yet once you reach the age of 25? Even though personally I do believe that the age limit should be lowered, like to 21, 18, because some women are getting cervical cancer way before they reach 25. So waiting to 25 is basically ridiculous. However, I do believe, I remember reading somewhere that saying that if you feel something is wrong, if you feel something is wrong down there, you can go and request, you know, a test to be done. I have to do some research on that, but I do believe that if you feel something isn't right, you can go request a test. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Like I said, please leave your thoughts down below, ladies. Let me know your experiences. Let me know if you had your first smear test. I'm here to reassure you it is not the worst thing in the world. However, be prepared that it will be uncomfortable the first time. I'm here to be open and honest. It will be uncomfortable the first time. Like, I've experienced it. I know what it's like. So you can talk to me if you feel to talk to me. Okay, bye.